class, and welcome once again to Beetle University. It's me, Professor Moptop. Thank you again a million times over, everyone out there, for all that you do and all that you've done. We are approaching the end, and let's dive back into the second side of Abbey Road. And we're going to talk about two songs this week. It's the third mini medley, as they called it. The song we're going to talk about is Golden Slumbers. The first song we're going to talk about is Golden Slumbers. You could probably figure out what's next. Well, initially, Paul McCartney wanted to have a whole side completely uninterrupted with no seams in between the songs, no space, no silence. It would sound as if it was one 20 or so minute long song. Well, they didn't quite achieve that, but Paul did get pretty close, and at the end, he has the Golden Slumbers Carry That Weight medley. Initially, Golden Slumbers was written as the Cradle Song, and it was a poem, and then eventually it was set to music as Golden Slumbers Kiss Your Eyes. Well, Paul McCartney saw a book of kids' songs, and even though he only sort of knew how to read some of the music notes, he was able to kind of make up his own tune, and he slightly adjusted the lyrics, and in late 68, he wrote his own version of Golden Slumbers, which was originally a Thomas Dekker poem. During the Let It Be sessions, he played it a couple of times. It wasn't quite finished in any sort of form whatsoever, but he had the Golden Slumbers / Carry That Weight idea already in mind. They tried it a couple times during the January 69 sessions, not returning to it, but as we've said many times before, the Beatles never really let a good idea go wasted. On July 2nd of 1969, the two songs were recorded together. Now, John had been in a car accident, and he and Yoko were in the hospital for a little while, so Paul, George, and Ringo recorded Golden Slumbers and Carry That Weight. We're not totally sure if John participated at all on them in the overdub process, but he definitely wasn't around when they recorded the basic track. Once it was finished, they packed it away for a few weeks, and then later in the month they finished it up, added a bunch of overdubs, and in August they added the orchestra overdub on top of it, as well as with Carry That Weight. Now, first, Carry That Weight was going to be a bit of a country song, and as Paul describes about his idea in January 69, it was going to be about a guy who keeps trying but always comes up a little bit short, and it was going to be kind of funny and lighthearted about carrying that weight. Eventually, he decided it would become something a little bit different because he had these unfinished songs, and he understood that the Beatles might be breaking up soon, and he understood that the heaviness that would entail with this as well. He knew that the Beatles breaking up would be a worldwide monumental event that people would look back on with sadness many years later, and he also knew that each individual Beatle was going to have to carry that weight, as they did afterwards. Also within the Carry That Weight part of the song, there's a bit of a reprise to the You Never Give Me Your Money song, in which he sings about You Never Give Me Your Pillow. Now, what's interesting about this when they recorded it is George is playing the bass. It's nothing too complicated that an accomplished guitarist wouldn't be able to figure out, but it is interesting to see that George could indeed play bass if need be. They added a bunch of overdubs onto this, more guitars from George and Paul. George plays that brief little guitar solo. Paul adds a second guitar, and the three played really nice together. Paul, George, and Ringo, they cooperated with one another. They didn't have a lot of stress amongst one another, and it seems like when John Lennon came back, there was that tension at first, but then throughout the Abbey Road sessions, John became a little bit more interested in it, knowing that the album was going to be pretty good and it was going to probably be their last. Now, the background vocals are from Paul, George, and Ringo on Carry That Way. You can hear Ringo especially loud. It is a bit, it's not certain for sure either way whether or not John Lennon added vocals to the Carry That Way medley when they're all shouting, or whether it's just the three of them. At any rate, it ends real abruptly after Carry That Weight, but there was a plan in place, and the next time we talk, we're going to start talking about the end. We're going to talk about the end for a while. Until the next time I see you, or talk to you, or chat with you, you have a great day, you have a couple of great days, and then have a couple more great days. Until the next time, I'm Professor Moptop.